Hello friends, welcome to our reading skill session for day 53. Let's talk about the questions. As I always imply, or I always tell you that the comprehensions are not very difficult in nature. Although in this comprehension you must take a few precautions. You should be a bit careful. It is not as easy as it was yesterday's comprehension. See, the highbrows reverse the numerical argument. Now, important it is there. Highbrows are the persons who regard themselves quite intellectual and they see others as inferior. घमंडी लोग जो अपने आप को बौद्धिक रूप से बहुत जागरूक ऊंचे लेवल का मानते हैं और दूसरे को नीचा मानते हैं, उनको हाइब्रोज कहा जाता है. तो वो न्यूमेरिकल आर्गुमेंट को रिवर्स करते हैं, मीनिंग देयर बाय ऑल्दो दे आर वेरी फ्यू, दे रिवर्स दैट if somebody, a type of people are very few in nature, few in number, it means that they should be dominated by the majority. But they reverse the numerical argument and imply that they intend to say that because they are so few, चूंकि बहुत कम हैं, they must be right, वही सही हैं, because they are fewer in number. But where they chiefly offend, लेकिन उनका ये जो ओपिनियन है ऑफेंड ज्यादा करता है, चोट पहुंचाता है, इज इन देयर एक्सेसिव सेल्फ कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशन. वो अपने आप को ही बहुत ज्यादा कॉन्ग्रेचुलेट करते हैं, मतलब अपने आप को बहुत हाई मानते हैं, अपने आप को सही मानते हैं. एंड कंटेम्प्ट फॉर अदर्स एंड दे हेट अदर्स, दे ट्रीट अदर्स एज इंफीरियर्स. In the past, the highbrows were alone in expressing a feeling of superiority. They were alone. They expressed the feeling of superiority, that they are superior, and they were alone. But the things have changed recently. The lowbrows means जो highbrow नहीं हैं, जो अपने आप को superior नहीं मानते, these lowbrows humbly accepted the position assigned to them. They accepted that they are inferior. The lowbrows accepted. Highbrows said that lowbrows are inferior and they accepted humbly. Recently, but there has been a change and the lowbrows now adopt towards the highbrows exactly the same attitude as highbrows adopt towards them. But recently, what has happened is that lowbrows are treating themselves as superior, as previously highbrows used to treat themselves as superior. Now, the reversal of numerical argument in the context of the passage means that the highbrows, what is that, have no regard for the majority. If the majority is having one opinion, in spite of that, highbrows said that our opinion, though it is different and though we are very few in number, we are correct. So they do not have the regard for the majority. A highbrow is naturally a self-opinionated individual, intellectual. An intellectual that is self-opinionated. Opinionated means अपने विचारों में बहुत कट्टर. See, the word has come from opinion, but opinionated means one who is very dogmatic or very harsh in one's opinion. He has a particular type of opinion and he is very fanatic about that opinion. कट्टर है वो अपने विचारों में, उसको opinionated कहा जाता है. Self congratulation means self admiration. खुद को बोलते रहते हैं वो सही है. The attitude of the lowbrows towards the highbrows in the past was one of, they submitted, they accepted their superiority. So, without resistance, humbly accepted their low position. Easy it was, the passage was easy. The recent change in attitude of the lowbrows towards the highbrows suggests that, अभी जो recent attitude में change हुआ उनका, वो क्या? The lowbrows have rejected the superiority of the highbrows. We cannot say that the low bros have become the high bros, or they indifferent, or they are humble. Now they are no longer humble. They say that you are not alone now superior. We two are of the same rank. Now look at this. A very good question. डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ लिफलेट्स, वो पर्ची वर्ची होता है ना जो बांटते हैं लोग रोड पे खड़े होके, एंड डिलीवरिंग स्पीचेज ऑन गवर्नमेंट प्रॉपर्टी. इफ आई एम डिलीवरिंग स्पीच ऑन एट अ प्लेस दैट इज द प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट, शुड बी आउटलॉड. इसको गैर कानूनी घोषित कर देना चाहिए. रेडिकल्स एंड फैनेटिक्स हैव नो राइट. नाउ सिंपल ये सबके लिए बोल रहा है या पर्टिकुलर किसी खास के लिए बोल रहा है, वो ध्यान देना. रेडिकल्स एंड फैनेटिक्स हैव नो राइट. दोज हु आर फैनेटिक्स, कट्टर जो लोग हैं, जो रेडिकल्स हैं, जो एक्सट्रीमिस्ट हैं, जो मतलब एक्सट्रीम जाके बातें करते हैं, हैव नो राइट टू यूज पब्लिक प्रॉपर्टी. Particularly the writer is saying that they have no right to use public property, government property, when peddling their unsavory views, when they are advocating or they are airing their what you call unholy views regarding the system or anything else. They do not have any right to use the public property. Particularly the writer is talking about these two. Now if the question is that the question says that this is based on the postulate. Postulate means assumption. This is based on the assumption that the general public has a special concern in free. Not talking about the general public. Radicals and fanatics prefer to use the public property while propagating their viewpoint. They do not prefer. They do not prefer. The writer is saying we are not sure from the passage whether they want the public property to air their views. But the writer is saying that if they are delivering their speech, unholy speech on public property, it should be banned. So this is not correct also. Every person who hands out leaflet or delivers a speech is a radical. No, it cannot be that everybody who is distributing leaflets is a radical. This is very preposterous, illogical generalization. Legal constraints, outlaw, which are applicable to one group need not be equally applicable to all. सबको एक आदमी पे अगर किसी एक ग्रुप पे वो कानून लागू होता है तो इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि वो सब पे लागू होता है. Because the writer is saying that radicals and fanatics, if they are using public property to express their views, it should be banned. So your option number D is correct. Other three are clearly wrong, that you could have realized very easily. Now a very good question. In this series, feelers are very complex in nature. Now think about that. Look at this. Leader should have A, sort of. So because of A, this option A number is wrong. Now if I'm saying Tom Hayden, who led the student protest movement in the 1960s, and is, if I'm using who, and becomes grammatically wrong, because who itself is a conjunction over here. So this one is grammatically incorrect. This two is grammatically incorrect. Now between these two, you will realize that majority of the words are same in nature. A progressive California legislator today. Now the position of today is different in both the options. First thing, a leader, but over here a one-time leader. Now look at this. If I'm using option number C as correct, Tom Hayden, a leader of the student protest movement in the 1960s and a progressive California legislator today. This and is combining two things, one from the past and one from the present. For the present it has used today, then this one time becomes one times previously. Previously in the 1960s he was a student protest movement leader, and now, and look at this, the place of today. And today this is saying that they are targeting the time frame very clearly. The examiner is targeting the time frame very clearly. Previously a one-time leader, previously a leader of the student protest movement, and today he is a legislator. If you use option number C and combines two things and two equal things, and he is a leader in 1960s and a legislator in today, that sounds inappropriate. Look at the position of today and the use of one time. So option number B is correct. This was of a very high level. Let. No let up in there. Let up means relax. There is no relaxation in the effort. This one is correct. The team leader finally led his team on the mission. Let should have changed into led his mission, led his team. This one is correct, but look at the other options too. I let it be known, I allow it to be known that I was not interested. Over here, because let as a verb means allow, and let in all the three forms have got the similar form. Let. I allowed it to be known. If you use allow, it should be allowed it to be known that I was not interested. This one is correct. Unable to overpower the intruder, let his dog fly. He left it uncontrolled. Let one's dog fly means leave something or someone uncontrolled to attack basically. So option number B. Otherwise the question, the option B was clearly wrong. You could have realized the other usages I talked about. Now this question is there. He asked what the weather had been like. A bit of confusion you might have faced over here in this section number B. During my holidays, just because there is during, a sense of duration is there, so in place of was it should be had been. And what it was like is equal to how it is. कैसा है ये, कैसा है ये. What the film is like, मतलब film कैसी है. How is the film? So this one is correct in terms of usage. During my holidays, and I said that it had been awful because it was awful nahi. During is there is a sense of duration, and if there is a sense of duration, the verb should be either in perfect or in perfect continuous. So there is no error in the sentence. And again, improvements and fillers in this week questions are of a very good nature, and you must compare. Has been necessary, was to be necessary, होने वाला था जरूरी, you can contradict. Is necessary, will be necessary. For developing and enforcing the principle of all juries being drawn from. Now look at this, that you should think over here being, over here to be, over here must be, over here being, and over here must be. Now just think that the principle that a conjunction is there. ठीक है? After that there should be a verb, that all juries must be drawn from a fair cross section of the community. अब ये जो यहां कंजंक्शन लगा है, इसके चलते देयर शुड बी अ कंप्लीट वर्ब. ठीक है? तो आपका अगर वर्ब लेना है तो आपको बीइंग वाला, टू बी वाला एंड बीइंग वाले आपको काटना पड़ेगा. हैज बीन नेसेसरी, इज नेसेसरी to develop and enforce the principle that all juries must be, has been necessary to develop and enforce the principle that all juries must be, or everything else after today is same. Now necessary is same, they are saying has been necessary, duration is necessary, wo zaruri hai. Now think, although the Supreme Court ruled as long as 1880s that blacks could not be excluded outright from the nearly a centuries of केस बाय केस एडजुडिकेशन, एक एक केस का एडजुडिकेशन मीन्स एनालिसिस इज नेसेसरी, नॉट दैट हैज बीन नेसेसरी. सो योर आंसर शुड बी टू कंफर्म दैट द ब्लैक्स आर फेयर सेक्शन ऑफ द कम्युनिटी मस्ट बी ड्रॉन, कि वो प्रॉपरली इज नेसेसरी. सो योर आंसर वाज डी. In this sort of questions, your elimination technique comes to your aid. You have to eliminate looking at the, I took that as the guiding principle because towards the end, in some parts there were finite verbs and other parts there were non-finite verbs, being, to be, and I took the care of that and I rejected the non-finite verbs. And after that, has been and is, we have to select out of these two one, and then the meaning is going to help you. At the higher level, things get a bit complicated. I hope you must have enjoyed the explanation properly. Do let me know if you want something extra or any other type of questions to be included. I'm thinking, particularly for me, close test and comprehensions, these are quite important. They should be featuring in almost every paper. Apart from that, there should be a variety of questions to let you think in a fluid way. See you with the next of our explanations. Thank you to all of you.